What is going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Janelle Simone, and I am one of the hosts of this amazing show that you are now tuned in, which is Love Match Live. Okay, so within the show, we have the most amazing lead host that is very familiar when it comes to the radio airwaves. You hear him across the country on numerous stations, over 5 million listeners, always promoting love, always promoting harmony, always promoting building relationships and building communities. And I am so excited that each and every week I get to have this great vessel join me as we bring you some real deep conversations about love, dating, relationships, and how do we move forward. So without further ado, I am super excited to bring with you my co-host, my lead host for this show, Love Match Live, the one, the only Lenny Green.
Ms. Janelle, that's a wonderful, amazing introduction. I don't have enough money in my bank account to pay you for that one. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, please forgive her for, expounding so deeply. But it's a pleasure and honor to see you. And thank you for letting me come into your space, Ms. Janelle.
No, honestly, Lenny, this is a no-brainer for us to do something like this, where we get the opportunity to really talk and expound on some of the things that you deal with every day on The Quiet Storm. Like, you have an entire show that is geared to setting the mood, that is geared to connections and romance. And when it came to Love Match Live, it made perfect sense to work together for this.
Well, see, we should inform everyone, though. Janelle is the curator of Love Match Live. And she thought I was, measured up to the standard of co-hosting the show with her, and I'm honored to do that. I just thought when I started Confessions of Love on the Quiet Storm, that was a great platform for couples to start talking about various topics. And just the other day, I had another email, and I get them all the time from a lot of couples. Brother hit me up, and he had said him and his wife enjoy Confessions of Love on the show because it gives them an opportunity to engage in conversation on subject matters that may not be pertaining to them. And that was the whole purpose, because I think sometimes when we get into these relationships, prior to getting into the relationships, because I'll speak for the fellas, sometimes you don't want to miss out on the opportunity of, being with Janelle, right? So you're going to do everything right. You don't want to ask the wrong questions. So let Lenny Green ask the questions that you're not going to ask. And hopefully you're with that person. And then y'all can have an open conversation without any judgment being tossed to the other. So, and then unfortunately, when you get into the relationships, you start to pull back. You may want to ask your significant other, depending on what your relationship is looking like. Because if you have an open relationship and you really can be honest with each other, without judging and raising the eyebrow, you should be able to talk about everything. But some folks don't. So that's where, once again, I like to consider myself coming into the space to kind of break the ice and kind of start the conversation and have you guys talk about things that you may not have normally talked about.
So I love that you said that, because now I'm very intrigued because, okay, so let me break it down how sometimes it is when ladies, we go out. Like, we have like this inner dialogue where we speak to each other without saying a word. We have scoped out the room. We've checked all of the opportunities and possibilities out, and then we kind of like have our own internal situation on who's going to be the wingman. Do you notice that when guys are together, do fellas do they need that kind of uh structured play in on the scene to approach a woman? Like, is there, because we're helping people connect. Do you notice that there might be something that happens on site?
I mean, it's always difficult. That's why I think you ladies, I commend the ladies who are not afraid to step out of their comfort zone and make the initial move. It helps us tremendously. And you won't know how the pressure is for us. If you're with a girlfriend or two girlfriends, we need to have our reinforcements with us, because if I'm concentrating on you or one of the girlfriends, I need the other two to not be in my business or, be occupied with conversation with my people so I can focus on the person I'm trying to talk to. So, and then if the person is by themselves, one thing no one wants, and we don't get accustomed to it, ladies. We know who wants rejection. Who wants to walk from one side of a restaurant or go to the bar or to the other side of the restaurant, all for either a negative response, no kind of no kind of appreciation that I'm just, and I'm coming up to you in the most respectful way, no kind of appreciation that I am stepping to you, and I have an interest in obviously just saying hello. Just saying hello. I'm not trying to take your hand in marriage. I'm not trying to ask you for blood because I need. I'm not asking for a loan. I just want to say hello because that's where the conversation, in my opinion, starts. We have to start a conversation. If you're sitting in, you propped up on the side, looking all cute, and I'm on the other side, and I don't say anything, you're not going to say anything to me. So the worst thing I think what men are faced with at times is the bad rejection. And it's cool if you're not trying to, go or take it a distance or seriously, but what's wrong with the conversation?
So pretty much you have experienced women who are pretty much blocking your moves.
Well, no, I mean, the woman herself could block a move, I mean, I think y'all go to training classes for blocking moves. And at the end of the day, look, I understand you're faced with a lot of things. We as men, we don't get confronted. We're not in that situation as much as you are, because we don't have the ability, we don't have the luxury of ladies coming up to us unless we're in of a certain status.
Okay.
And you might know of us, know a man. Oh, that's such and such. So I'll make my move. But otherwise, regular dude like me, we get looked over and passed by all the time.
Oh, that is so messed up. That
It is messed up. I agree.
Feel
no,
that
not that feel.
Look, you're feeling your experience.
We could take a survey one day. We could take a real survey. And you know what? I want to make sure the room is balanced. I'm going to have men have to be represent strong, just like the women represent strong. And we'll take the survey.
See, I got to hear your opinions. For those who are in the chat, I want to say welcome to our Love Match Live show. Everybody who is watching right now, you are officially our co-host. So go ahead and chime right into the chat.
Chime right in.
Let us know what you think. Have you ever experienced somebody blocking you when you're trying to make your moves when you see somebody on the street? Shout out to Jay Webb watching us from Mount Vernon, B Pearls. I see some others that are joining in. Diane, for you as well watching on our YouTube. I want to say thank you so much for tuning into Love Match Live, because we are creating a whole new dating experience just for you. We want to talk to you. We want you to be a guest. We want you to join us and talk about the pains, the struggles, the stuff that the blocking that Lenny's talking about. I don't see. And even in the chat, they're saying they don't believe you. They don't believe you.
They don't believe what?
They don't believe about the blocking, about that kind of experience.
If it's they don't believe me, then it must be all ladies that don't believe me, right? Because it can't be a man that doesn't believe what I'm saying.
See,
I'm just saying.
Why I need my fellas. Shout out to Shoshana as well, watching us from Philadelphia. Okay.
What's up, Philly?
I will give you that. It is a woman that is saying that they don't believe you. And I'm not even gonna lie. I gotta stand in for my ladies as well, because we do when we come together, we need to make sure that our friends are safe. We want to make sure that the libations wasn't libating too much, and they not just looking at, because it's dark in the club and we already know that he ain't a 10.
You know what, Janelle?
We might come through and be like, nah, sis. And I'll give you that. We do have our own little, gestures where we're like, come save us. Where,
come save us. Oh, you mean to your girls? To your girls? Yeah. I hear you. See, we don't have to have we as the fellas don't have that luxury, because most women don't approach us unless we're a man of visibility status. Oh, he's a TV anchor. This is an athlete. Oh, he's a basketball player, or he's a popular person in the city. That's when a woman often will approach a man when they know what his title is or who he is.
Uh-huh.
But and look, I'm the invisible man because radio, you don't see me. Like this is the most visibility I'm ever getting because you don't see me when I'm doing my show at night. So you just hear my voice maybe. But and hopefully you will start turning me on, ladies. If you don't know about the show and you lock it in for the first time right now, listen to the Quiet Storm. Shameless plug. But yeah, I mean, you just don't know because I walk by people all the time, and that's fine, because of the medium that I'm in. Very rare will a person catch me. Very rare.
See, and this is what I love. Shout out to you, Andrea Butler, also tuning in from Philly. Diane also
We
saying,
got Philly on lock
oh,
tonight.
Philly is in the building. I love that. I love that. And this is what has been coming up is that we don't really believe you. And I have another question.
You don't believe me?
No, about this experience about people blocking and not really allowing.
You know what? All right.
But you said that you would prefer for a woman to make that first.
No, I said it's cool. I mean, it's perfectly fine, and I think most men will agree with me. We don't have a problem. Like, and again, I hate to say this, but it could be a regional thing. It could be because ladies in the South are different from the ladies in the Northeast. Ladies in the Midwest are different from the ladies in the West. So it may be your upbringing, it may be how things are. I don't know. If somebody broke the heel on your shoe, if the cat came across you the wrong way. I don't know, but I know most brothers, most men just wants to start a conversation. We ain't trying to ask for blood alone. Can you give me a ride down the block? A conversation. It doesn't cost anybody anything.
Okay. So within that conversation, for the ladies who are watching and they see somebody that they're like, they don't know what's the best way to approach. Do you have something that maybe?
Yeah, easy. Send him a drink. Bartender, find out what he's drinking. I'm buying his next drink. Easy.
Okay, so in the chat, we've got Jay Webb who said, listen, the man is supposed to be the leader and they come with the game. And that is why men.
You heard what he said? He came with the game. See, when you get to a mature level, you're not coming with game. You're coming with who you are. If you got game, if it's all about a game, then we're back to square one again. So I'm past the game part. I'm just want to try to get to know the person who attracted my eye, because we're all attracted to each other. We don't know how we are as individuals until we break the ice and find out what's in between the ears. So initially we're attracted. Women are attracted to men. Women are obviously attracted to women, right? Or whatever the case may be, whatever your preference is. But you're attracted to the person. That's my point. So if you're attracted to the person, that's where it begins. The attraction.
See, and that's what, and I gotta defend the ladies as well, because I love being in my feminine energy. I love just being perched, just sitting.
Janelle, you are a situation in itself, and ladies and gentlemen, we haven't really hung out like that, but I'm gonna have to do this, because this conversation, when we have it in a couple of weeks down the road, we would have already had a couple of moments to be out and about and in the same space, because she's in one space, I'm in a different world. So I'm gonna settle some things, and I'm gonna come back to y'all and let you know. But I know she's a percher. She'll perch up in a minute. She'll post up in a minute.
I want to sit pretty. I want to,
and that's fine. That's fine.
Look for a guy to be in his masculine energy and to approach me and to make that move.
That's fine.
Well, it's saying as a Caribbean woman, she do look for a man to step up and be the first person.
That's perfectly fine, but just don't shoot us down. We don't have a problem in stepping up, but just don't shoot us down. Like, shoot us down would be not interested, one word, attitude. That's a shot. That's a shot right there. Like who's encouraged to continue? Now, I'm not trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to have a moment together. Who knows how long the moment will last? By the way, Janelle, I don't know. You must perched up somewhere, because is that a tan line I see?
It sure is. Sure is.
Okay. She was perched up somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. We are.
Were you perched up on yesterday? Because you know what yesterday was, right?
Oh, what was yesterday?
Don't- now she's playing naive like she doesn't know.
What was yesterday?
You know, yesterday was International Kiss Day.
Was it?
So how many kisses did you attain as you were perched up?
Oh, now listen, listen, listen.
That
Okay,
means she's not telling. Okay, I got you. Learn to read between the lines sometimes, fellas. Look, we have a special guest, don't we?
we absolutely.
Okay,
And
okay.
I love this about Love Match Live because we have this opportunity to bring in awesome guests that
Yep.
has the ability to help us dig in deeper, help us dive in and really get to the nooks and crannies when it comes to the struggles of dating, how to realign ourselves to finding our perfect mate. And so I am so grateful that we have this platform where we could speak with intimacy experts, relationship coaches. We could speak with psychic mediums, speak with comedians to bring some fun and some life to this platform here. And so for today, I got the chance to really find someone who's gone through the trenches,
Hmm.
who
Of
has
the trenches
gone
of what? The trenches of
of
the
dating,
jungle,
of being
or trenches of life? What? The trenches of?
of being a single person trying to navigate love and
Oh, I
trying
know
to
about that.
do it
Yeah.
with connecting with authenticity, with connecting with, I know this is a word that sometimes trigger you, but intention, with the idea of actually coming to an end goal of
Hmm.
partnership. So this particular guest that we have here is their website is the Grown Newlyweds. So already that name alone, I want to go and dive into that. But it's even more about connecting life after a certain age. Like we listen, Lenny, we are women of a certain age now, you know. And that's why I put mature adults into this
Oh, okay.
because I am not, I'm no longer a
Hmm.
babe.
Hmm.
Okay. I am
You.
a grown woman. Hello. And
Oh, okay. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, I really needed that.
And
Thank you.
so it's really important for us to get sound advice from someone who's experienced, someone who could say this is what is going to work and maybe divert us from somewhere where it's not going to work. So here I am going to bring in our special guest for today. This is Robyn Murphy, the founder of the Grown Movie. Hey.
Robyn Murphy. Hi.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming by. We appreciate you.
Yes. Okay, so we have been talking about a lot so far when it comes to making first moves. Now I know.
See, she's a third party. I want to get Robyn's perspective on what I said. And Robyn, be brutally honest.
That's me. Don't worry.
Okay. Love it. So give us your take. I mean, you've been hearing to a lot, you've been backstage listening to the dialogue. Shoot your shot, as they say.
I'm going to shoot my shot. So, what I think is, as women, while we're
Mhm.
out here navigating the dating streets, you have to decide how you're going to approach it. So, you talked about being intentional. You've got to be intentional. So, if you walk into that situation saying, all right, if somebody sends me a drink, I'm going to at least have a conversation with him, then that's
Mhm.
what you do. So you walked into that situation knowing how you're going to respond, knowing now it could be thank you so much and move on, but you have decided what it is that you are going to do and how it is you are going to react in that situation.
Mhm.
As a grown and sexy, mature woman who's in a setting of grown and sexy people,
Mhm.
um, what would you advise or suggest a great icebreaker? I suggested the drink situation because Janelle had asked, well, what could, a woman do? I said, well, send him a drink. But aside from a drink, what would you advise if she wanted to? Well, I'm not too sure where you stand with this, but um, well, how would you advise people coming together? Like instead of standing on opposite sides of the room and they come into the room and they leave separately as well because no one made a connection.
So it goes back to the intention. If you're out with your girls and you're not intending to meet anybody, that's not what the focus of the evening is, then that's fine. But if you're out and you decide, maybe this is an opportunity to meet someone, then intentionally you decide, I'm going to talk to 3 guys this evening. And that's what you do.
But wait, I'm sorry, I'm an inquisitive guy. So it's what you just said. You're with your girls. Before you go out, you intentionally say, I'm not going to meet a person.
You can, sure, why not? You get to decide.
No, well, I get that, but why would you shut yourself down like that? Because who knows when love is going to really pop up?
You don't know, but you are setting up how you are going to operate in this situation. Now, that can change. Mr. Right may roll up and you had no idea, didn't see him coming. Then you pivot. But it's okay to walk into the situation understanding this is why I'm here today.
Okay, I'm going to take out my notepad. I'm going to take some more notes. Janelle, please.
Well, I will say the chat is definitely going live right now because Jay Webb says exactly agrees with you. And then we've got Gail. Gail is saying, everybody, I better get y'all pen and paper because we got a relationship guru here. And so we are excited about that. So it is really important for us because as single people, I am a single woman, Lenny is a single man, and we are navigating this dating terrain on our own different platforms and plateaus. And it's really about finding what works and what doesn't. And now we understand everything is not going to be the same for everybody. So how about we start there when it comes to you? What was your pathway in connecting into finding meaningful connections?
So I spent a lot of time, almost 20 years, and I heard you talk about this the other day in a situationship. You talk imaginationship. It was not what it was supposed to be. But always in the back of my mind, it was when Mr. Right comes, it's going to be fabulous. So I was open. I was always open, even in the throes of the madness. That's long gone. I got rid of that whole situation because I realized that I was worth more. I will say, while I have not, full disclosure, have not had any real therapy, I am a holder of a undergraduate degree in psychology. So I sort of worked on myself and it worked out, but I decided that I was worth more and that I was going to figure out some things. Mostly, what was it that had me in that crazy situation for so long? And so I did my own digging, figuring it out, came to some conclusions, decided, okay, now you move on. Now you can be who you're supposed to be. And so I did that. And you know how folks say when you'll know because you'll know? That's the kind of situation I got into. I never believed that when other people said it, ever, ever. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. But that's what happened to me. So you have to be open, aware. You have to understand who you are. I have since developed 3 core beliefs. You can't take me off them. It is who I am. It's what and how I show up everywhere, everything. So it's not like, oh, I'm dating this guy and he likes this, so I'm gonna act like or start liking this. Or, oh, and then another one comes along and he's totally different. And I'm going to shift and change based on who he is and what he likes. That was not happening ever again for me. And so I figured out who I was. What were the non-negotiables? What were the things that were going to always, always, always be true for me. When you figure that kind of thing out, it doesn't matter what you come up against. You know who you are, and you're not going to shift.
So I got to chime in right there because I asked the question in the chat. Shout out to all of the co-hosts that are in the chat room. And we're kind of like split within single and married for those who are watching right now. So we're speaking about non-negotiables. What are, and I'm getting chat as well, what are some of the non-negotiables that you personally have, or and some that generally we should be looking for that maybe we're not putting it out there?
Okay. So, you know what you like. However, you also have to be open to something totally different heading your way and being ready to explore that. So if you know what you like, I was one of those people, if every word out of your mouth is profanity, I can't. So that's not happening. You're not getting a half a chance, never mind a second, right? Because that's just not who I am and how I operate. You have to, and again, these were mine, you have to have some level of intelligence to the point where I could take you into many different circles and you be comfortable in all of those spaces. Another one was I'm a Christian, so I did, yes, want someone who was also a Christian. Those were the hard basics, the hard negotiables, and then after that, I was okay with, okay, let's see who you are, how you are, what can happen here.
So may I interject?
Sure.
You are Christian.
Yes.
So one would assume that maybe you're the cesspool, like for lack of a better term, the array of men who are also Christian would be a great connect. Would be obviously first and foremost on the same page with you in terms of believing in a higher supreme, right? Believing in God, accepting God in their life, and would be ideal consideration for you to consider. No?
So that is one of the thresholds for being an option, but people are people, and Christians aren't perfect. So there are a whole bunch of folks out there who proclaim to be and are doing, acting, saying all the things that don't necessarily line up. So that's not necessarily a check off the box, okay, that's going to be okay.
Wow. Age doesn't dictate maturity, right? It should. It should, though. But it doesn't.
No, we want it to.
Because it should. You know, you live to a certain age, you would think maturity comes along with that. And I found out that it doesn't happen either.
No.
So the intellect is important as well, because not just for communication, obviously, from a standpoint, but from a moral standpoint, from a real, you know, for compatibility purposes, you want the maturity of a person to be right in line with where you are, you know, so
Absolutely.
actually y'all can grow, you know, with each other and grow, you know, beyond where you were. But that's challenging, and one would not think it is challenging as you mature in life. One would think, well, I got past my 20s, I got past my 30s, I'm in my 40s now. Oh, it's a whole new different. It should be a lot easier, but even you found it to be challenging finding an ideal mate. And why is that? Because age because age doesn't dictate maturity?
It does not. It's just a number. And what I found was you get more frustrated believing that than not. So if you're out here, I was between 39 and 42 in the last time I was dating. And you want folks to be mature. You actually think sometimes, oh, this is going to be easy because we're grown. And that is so not the case. Because there are folks out there who haven't gotten themselves together, haven't done the work, haven't digged back into what's going on and why. And so they're showing up the same way they've been showing up since they were 25.
Well, maybe because they're self-diagnosing themselves too, because they don't have your degree for one, and then the second thing, who wants to go to see somebody to talk about their problems? I think the most important thing we have a problem with is admitting, because when we look at that person that we see in the mirror, when we look in the mirror and we see that person that we see, when you're by yourself in that bathroom or in your room, what flaws you have, what things you have to work on, but you don't want to let no one else know what you got to work on. And sometimes, I think people push their flaws out the way to just concentrate on the other person more. Am I wrong?
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, definitely. But then I think there are some people who have no clue that they are walking around with issues.
So where would you be, what would you suggest mature men and women start in terms of knowing themselves? But how do you really admit that how do you admit you have to take yourself to somebody for them to point your flaws out?
Yeah. And so most folks, especially at that age, you have friends that have been with you forever. You have friends from childhood, you have friends from college. You got people that know you and have known you for a while. It's okay to sit down with one of them and say, look, this is what I'm feeling. This is the situation I'm in. I'm trying to meet people. It's not working. I keep dating the same person, but just a different body over and over and over again. Help me figure out what this is. What is it? Be honest with me. So many people are walking around and no one's telling them anything.
Robyn, that's obvious based on how they let their friends come out of the house. Because when your girl's not looking right. Come on, Are you going to tell a girl, I don't think you should wear that outfit? And then she's going to counter you on that probably and say why. And then that's another situation right there. See, men, we're like, yo, man, take that off.
No. Depends on who your friends are. And from
I'm telling you, okay, my friends
that Janelle said, some of my girls are on here and they know, I'm not.
You're a straight shooter. You tell it like it is. And see, that's what me and my boys do. We tell it like we don't hold back no punches. I mean, and it's colorful words that we use, but come on, you see some folks come out and you're like, is that her friend? Because why would she let her friend come out looking like this in this outfit?
But you can't make a person. You have to give people the permission to tell you. They're not necessarily going to hear it without permission. You can't just roll up on them and be like, girl, did you know that you blah, 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 blah? You have to give folks permission to speak to you that way.
Well, I guess we're always going to live in a certain lane because it's not, I don't see it happening as much as it should.
Well,
I think things have changed.
The chat is going crazy, and there's so many things coming up because we're talking about the friends that you have, and I want to shout out to everyone who's in that chat room, keeping it live. Shout out to Julietta as well. 1102, also listening and talking about when we're talking about non-negotiables and that connection about how you also help guide with real life experience, spiritually and emotionally, those connections. Talking about age being a factor of maturity. B. Pearls is saying no, age has nothing to do with maturity, and I absolutely agree with that as well. I'm younger in age when it comes, and sometimes I dated when I was younger in age, I dated a lot of older guys because those who were my age at the time, baby, listen. Y'all need to go. Y'all wasn't ready for this jelly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but can I hold you on that for a minute, Janelle?
Sure.
You did it. A guy older than you, guys older than you. Robyn, does that mean that it's going to be a better fit, or they're just better experience at making things more complicated for her?
So I think it's interesting that lots of times when we want to talk about dating, we do a lot of generalizing. you're going to be coming up against individuals. You're an individual. Folks are individuals. I think what happens a lot for us is we have a mindset. We think that everybody is in the same way, the same behaviors, and that's just not true. It's not true. And so I always let folks know, don't say things that you don't want to be true. All men are this, all women are that. Or you don't want if you're out here looking, you don't want every man to be a dog. That's not helpful, right?
Not helpful.
And so making sure that it helps you be more open if you don't generalize and think that everyone is the same.
Ooh-wee. So Julietta on the chat is stating that it is important to start with the truth in a loving way. We also got B Pearls. Ooh, was coming. Ooh, I'm telling you, ooh, this chat. I'm saying that some people are just uncomfortable with themselves rather than replace those who tell them the truth or trigger them. Ooh. Yowza.
Yeah, but if you're uncomfortable with yourself, why are you out here trying to date people?
That's what I want to know. Don't be dating me. Not at all.
You're out here frustrating all these other people when you're not even comfortable with who you are.
So I've asked this with other relationship experts and counselors. I want to ask you, Robyn, the same question. Now, what's the question? I forgot the question. I'll come back to it. Oh, I got it. Do you believe in a person, a single person? When you say dating, do you believe in dating? A person should date exclusively, because is dating exclusively good or bad, or should you date? Like, when I mean by date, and I don't mean, let's remove the word, because I know this gets confusing at times. Let's remove the word having sex or making love or anything like that off the table. I'm saying dating. So I call exclusive daters a relationship already.
Mhm.
Do you say the same thing? Or if a person is single, do you recommend or suggest or advise exclusive dating, or should you date at least two or three people?
I would say you date as many as you like until the two of you can decide, we need to stop doing that. We need it to be just us. Now, that may be various points in time. Some people, it may be 10 months. Some people, it may be a year. In my opinion, if you're grown and everybody is sane and everybody is mature, I don't understand dating 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I don't understand the terminology. I don't understand what that is.
Neither do I, but I've met people who, I can't say they're dating, but they started cohabitating, but they've been together for like 18, 20 years with no commitment, like with no marriage. Now, don't get me wrong. In some states, I know in New York State, it's a thing called common law, where if you're with a person after 7 years and they're living in your dwelling, because you can't get rid of a person after 30 days out of your house. Technically, no, they have squatters' rights.
Yes.
So if they're with you more than a year, like, it's almost like considered a marriage, no?
So that's the part I don't understand. If I'm going to be with somebody for a year and we're living in the same space, why are we doing that if we're not ready to be fully committed?
And fully committed to you means what?
Marriage.
Okay. Because sometimes people look at the word committed in a different way, with different branches going in different directions. So just want to the clarity is important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Can we talk about, because I know we don't have a lot of time left, but can we talk about people who settle for less?
Yeah. I think that the people that settle for less, again, after I did the discovery of my own life and my own situations, I think the people that settle for less don't understand their worth. Because if you think about it, the phraseology in and of itself is like, why would you do that?
Because people get comfortable. One thing, I think. And then the other thing is people don't want to be alone. So they rather be with someone who they kind of know, even though they know this person doesn't measure up to their standard, as opposed to being alone or starting over again. And this happens a lot, obviously, with people who are mature. Because younger folks, they drop you just as quick as you blink an eye. But with the people of a certain age, or when you get past 35, you get comfortable and you just kind of. I mean, I myself, if I had to make a testimony on something, I know I got into a relationship and I settled in that relationship. Wasn't for my benefit. It wasn't for my good benefit in the long run, obviously, because I'm single. But for whatever reason I did that for, I did it. Not because I wasn't afraid to step out on alone. I felt committed in that regard to be there from a moral standpoint.
So this is my question, and I'm not looking for an answer from you because there's no need for you to share unnecessarily. But you recognize that was not what you necessarily wanted it to be. So the question becomes, how come those of us who find ourselves in that situation, do not have the courage, the knowledge, the whatever to say, nope, this is not working. Bye.
I'm going to answer that. I think I like to give people benefit of the doubt initially. So, but I pray a lot, and I often ask God to reveal what I need to know, especially when I'm focused on someone. I say, please let me, good or bad, expose. And He knows I'm hard-headed. So I said, really expose, hit me aside the head, expose what I need to really know about this person. And it's happened on several occasions. So that's how. No, go ahead.
But when you ask that prayer, is it year 3? Is it year 10?
No. I believe I'm kind of a 4-season guy.
Explain.
Summer, spring, winter, fall, right? 4 seasons. 4-season guy. And I could be totally wrong with my analogy. I don't have your level of I'm not a doctor, but I'm not high up on nothing. So my thing is, if I meet you in the fall of this year and we go through 4 seasons, right? So next fall, if we go to one whole complete season, if you're the same person I met, obviously you've grown, and obviously I've seen more in that span of time. But it doesn't tell me, because I don't think you really get to know a person in her totality from in one season. But if you are you're going to reveal some things that I'm going to know. I'm going to need to know, like, how do you come out of an argument? Are you resentful, or do you hold on to it? How do you comfort? How do you love? How caring are you? So I'm looking at all of those factors within that span of time. I have a very challenging lifestyle, career, very demanding, eats up a lot of time. I need to know, are you a groupie? I could have a celebrity friend over the house. You come over there. I need to go to the bathroom, and then you go all up in the dude's face. Like, I need to know these levels of where you are, so I can feel comfortable in knowing who you are.
Gotcha. I totally agree with you. I'm just not sure that takes a year.
So what timeline are you focusing on?
So again, I think it takes as long as it takes. I had whirlwind craziness. Not the norm. But I think if this is a person that you interact with regularly, if you consider yourself in a just us relationship, so you're not dating other people, they're not dating other people.
That's exclusive.
Okay, exclusive. Okay. I would think that enough situations come up so you can make that level of assessment before a year has come.
You know, Robyn, I hope I'm not the only one in the world or on the East Coast or the West Coast that has been in a situation where you just fall into that comfort zone. And look, sometimes you fall into for wrong reasons. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Sometimes you fall into for the sex. The sex may be the very very thing that you shouldn't be doing. The sex may be holding you, and I know it happens to women, and I know it happens to men.
Mm-hmm.
So you stay there because of that, or you stay there. I mean, that was my case. I stayed there because of the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down inside, and you're right, under a year span, I knew this can't go all the way. I knew. I definitely knew. Did I walk away? Not right away.
And so these are the things that make everybody more frustrated. You knew. She probably knew. Why extend this? I think like I said before, we have a hard time being true, being honest, and saying this is not going to work. It could be 4 days, be like, oh.
Oh yeah, no. I know. It could be one day. It doesn't have to be 4 days. I could do it in one day. Yes, I get
Listen,
it.
Exactly.
it could take an hour. As soon as you meet, that chemistry is not hitting, and we all know that the friend zone is sliding in. Really, it's sliding in real fast, real fast.
Do Robyn, do women, and I don't mean to be one-sided about this, but I'm gonna keep it real because I know Janelle has, been in situationships, right? She's told you about that situation.
Situationships, imaginationships, like
Imaginationships. Oh my God.
the
Yeah.
Maddoxes last week. They
Yep.
was talking about a whole new, just crazy nationships. You know, that's
Right.
not the word, but there's a lot of ships out there. It's sailing on the ocean, and
Yeah, they are. They are. They
feeling
are.
it. The dock is full with the ships.
But
Full.
how detrimental is that with them choosing the next person once they feel like once they realize that this imaginationship situationship is not the thing for them.
I think, again, it's about your intention. If you see it as a failure,
Mhm.
what is your philosophy about failure? Is it okay? I've learned it. Wow, I've learned that. I'm not doing that again, and I move on. Or am I internalizing it to the point where I'm stuck and I can't move on, or I feel like I need to fix that situation in a different person?
I got you. So do you feel that no matter how old we become, there's still a possibility to find love?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I know people 65 got married. I know someone that got married at 80.
Wow. I love that.
It's never too late. Never,
Never
ever,
too late to
ever.
find. So ladies, hold on. Hold on, ladies. Hold on.
Ladies, so they gotta marry somebody.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Because nobody's cohabitating. What did the chat say to you, Janelle?
So far the chat is just laughing so much at all of the names of the ships. I've got yachts and cruises, just emojis just looking across the chat room. Shout out to Making Love Better as well, who's also chiming in on the chat. And some are holding on. They are just staying open when it comes into play. They first off, they love the chat that's happening tonight when it comes to the authenticity of what we're discussing, because we're not having these conversations, and these conversations are needed before we even put ourselves out there, because it makes no sense if we are not whole ourselves and we're going out and projecting, hoping that someone's going to fill us, and then we're completely underwhelmed because we're expecting someone outside of ourselves to make us feel like we are ready, and it's not fair. It's not fair to them, it's not fair to us. So we are, I want to say our super chats right now, it definitely goes to Julietta and B Pearls, who's literally have been keeping this chat alive. I absolutely love that. Making Love Better. Thank you so much to the Maddoxes chiming in and really talking about how these conversations are so needed. They're so needed.
So grown newlywed,
Yes.
Robyn, what do you do for
So
folks who come to you?
so folks that come to me come for relationship coaching. The grown newlywed is the wife coaching arm. So I was 43 when I got married, and no one told me that because I was grown, it was going to be not difficult, but you still had stuff to do. I figured it was going to be a breeze. Like, we're 43, 46. Let's do this. How bad could it be? Ugh. So, so I wanted to make sure that I was available for women who were in the same situation, starting at that point. But then also, the grown newlywed is anyone that decides to make a shift in their marriage, change their behavior, and then become new. I have a client who, after I want to say it's like 16, 17 years, feels like she's dating a whole new man because she made a shift. We tend to want them to change. Well, I I do engagements and vending events and stuff, and my podcast is the Love Your Husband Better podcast.
Wow.
Folks are like, well, who's gonna love me better? Who teaches him? That's not my issue. I am concerned with how women show up in relationships. And so there are things that we can do that will, I promise you, shift his behavior. But it has to start somewhere. You're going to be in the same boat if you don't try to do something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to be your guide to something different.
So folks who come to you, they have to be willing to step into a zone that they're not very comfortable with. Step out of
Absolutely.
your right.
Absolutely. And so many folks are just not ready. They are not ready. They're not willing. But once you get to the point where you are, I have a workshop called Grown and Ready. So these are the single people. Once you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. What do I need to do? Then we start talking about that intentionality, that go back and figure out what has had you feel like what you've been through in the past was okay. What can we do to strengthen your core values, your core beliefs, so that you show up the same way every place, everywhere, every date, regardless of who that is? Because you have to strengthen yourself before you're ready
Yeah.
to roll up on somebody else and feel like, oh, this is going to work.
I feel you on that because it doesn't happen like that. Right. Well, I hope you can help Janelle because she needs help.
Yeah, I do. You know what? And I am not afraid to say that me raising my hand and saying that I'm a part of that number that needs encouragement, that needs reproof, that needs correction. Also, how am I showing up, doing that shadow work, doing that mirroring work? Because obviously, me being as fine as I am and still single, something's wrong because the common denominator is still. So now I need to decide and really dig up what is happening here. Why am I keep repeating the same situation, ship after ship after ship? And so I am so excited to have guests like you on the show where we could really dive in. So we are definitely pushing for all of those who are watching right now to make sure you go ahead and you follow the Grown Newlywed. You have an amazing podcast that really helps to break down what it is that we need to do and how we show up, our shadow work, our stuff. And then, of course, you have that Grown and Ready, how to prepare yourself to receive who you deserve. This is just really, really grateful to have you on the show to share what it is that you have. Obviously, from those who are in the chat, they are literally cheering and so excited that you are with us because they are saying that you offer real life experience. You're really helping individuals emotionally, spiritually get whole so that way they can connect and have authentic relationships with others. Shout out to Biggie Hall also popping in saying love and respect yourself first. Ah, okay, you got it.
Easier said than done, though. A lot of folks don't, though. That's the problem, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we understand what the process is, and we understand what we're supposed to do. But sometimes, you know, even as adults, I don't think we're supposed to do. I don't think we do what we're supposed to do. Just like
Mhm.
kids don't do what they're supposed to do. So we're grown kids doing the wrong damn thing.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
Robyn, it's been a pleasure. Do you offer any? Do you offer any advice for those who have gotten engaged? Like, you know, do you believe in premarital
Oh yeah.
counseling?
Yes. Yes.
You do.
Actually, go please go to premarital counseling. My husband and I actually on our premarital marriage counseling team at our church, so we do it all the time. We have facilitated both for over 15 years.
And did you guys do it too? Before you,
Absolutely. Absolutely. With a group in our 40s.
how
Yes.
how many weeks is that?
It depends. So it depends on where you do it.
It depends on
We
how many problems you have.
no,
Okay, okay, all right.
because this is the thing. The folks with the real problems don't come back the next day.
Wow. So prior to getting married, because I never said I do yet. So prior to getting married, would you say the premarital counseling is 6 months out, 90 days out?
So we've done a bunch of different things. 6 months is probably wedding planning time.
Mhm.
So maybe the year out, but it all depends. But you must have, for us, you have to have a ring and a date.
A what?
A ring and a
And a
date.
date. Okay. Got to have the ring and the date. Don't come to
Only
Robyn with
because
no
the
ring and a date
commitment
now.
needs to be the commitment needs to be real. I don't want, y'all just playing and then we're trying to help you and then that
Yeah.
doesn't work out because you decided, oh no, this isn't the one.
Now, did you do these things virally though, or are you in one set city and people come to you?
Both. We do it virtually and in person.
Okay, great. You're based out of where?
Philadelphia. But I'm a New Yorker
Gotcha.
from birth. I've only been in Philly 22 years.
So that means you became a Philly Eagles fan now.
No, I did not.
No,
That means I'm a New Yorker that lives in Philadelphia.
I got you on that. Okay, so you're a true New Yorker. What part of New York are you from?
I was born in Brooklyn and raised in Queens.
Say no more. You're born in the best borough in the world. I'm from Brooklyn too, so we understand what Brooklyn is everywhere. Brooklyn is everywhere. I got you.
Yes, and I'm still a Knicks fan and a Mets fan. That's not
Wow.
going
Yeah,
away.
you're really Brooklyn if you're Mets. You're really Brooklyn for sure. Well, hey, look. Shout out to Jalen Hurt though. You got a great quarterback down there in Philly. I commend him, and hopefully, it gets better. But
Yes.
wow, this has been an enlightening experience for me, and I'm sure Janelle says the same thing. But thank you for your time and sharing your wisdom and knowledge and advice to us. I'm going to retain it. I took down some notes, so yeah, this is great, and this is what we need. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you will make it a point to come back and lock in with us on Love Match Live because these are the kind of guests we're bringing you to kind of inform you because we don't have the answers, obviously, but we know people who have answers who can solidify and help you kind of channel through what you're going through. So, again, Miss Robyn, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Lenny, when I tell you every single week gets better and better, oh my goodness. I want to say thank you again to everybody, our co-hosts in the chat on Instagram, YouTube,
Philly rocked, huh?
Facebook
Philly.
Live. Philly was they was in the building today, and I absolutely adore it. I want to put it out there for all of you who are watching. We are looking for singles, married couples. We're looking for experts, comedians, to be a guest on this show, so that way we can really talk about everything that happens into relationships. We definitely want to bring you in. If you are single, then we're also going to put you on the hot seat so we could find out what your ideal partner is and
Yeah.
hopefully help you find your love match live. One thing before we go, Lenny, I cannot help but to announce a very, very special day that is coming up in August,
Yeah.
August 4th. This is the 20th annual
2-0. Yeah. 2-0 Lenny Green Family Day.
So please, what can we do to get ready for this?
Just mark it on your calendar and make it a point to come. It's absolutely free. It's in Brooklyn, y'all. Brooklyn, and it's in Bed-Stuy. It's at Von King Park, Herbert Von King Park, right there on the corners of Lafayette, Green, and Tompkins. It used to be known as Tompkins Park back in the day, depending on how far you go back. But Von King Park, this is the only park, believe it or not, in New York that has an amphitheater. There may be one other, but we have some wonderful entertainment coming by. Jimmy Cozier, you remember the cat who did, I think he came out in 2000. Sometimes I love her, sometimes I don't. He's coming. Mr. Cheeks from the Lost Boys is coming.
Hey.
I got a few surprise guests that are coming. We have everything that will embrace families and single folks as well. It's for, so bring the kids. We want you to bring the kids. Miss Janelle Simone, she's bringing Fun Bash. If you don't know
Yes.
what Fun Bash is, it's a wonderful thing that kids will love. But if you're grown and sexy, you're gonna love playing either with your boo, or you're gonna, if you have kids, you're gonna want to play with them. It's a wonderful thing. So God, come for that. But Janelle, I think one of the highlights of the day for me is awarding single moms, and I've selected 5 single moms, and I want to thank those of you who have submitted your emails to me. We've selected 5 single moms who will receive the Mama Green Women of Dignity Awards. I believe single women who are unfortunate in bad situations where they have to raise their children by themselves. That's what my mom did. My mom, I come from a single parent situation. So I want to award those ladies like you, if you're watching right now, with the proper award. I want to give you flowers. I want to give you something to remember. I want you could put it on your mantle. You could put it on your coffee table. I want you to look at that piece and just remember that somebody's standing with you and understands the struggles that you've been through. And my mom was one of the women that was standing in that situation, just like you are. But I want to award you with what you truly deserve. So we randomly select these single moms to receive the awards, and we often ask people to flood our emails with information about the woman or the person themselves, about themselves, so we can evaluate that you get this award. So I'm really looking forward to that part, and I'm just looking forward to just being with the community. I'm born, bred, and raised in Brooklyn, and this is a small little token of our appreciation, just in terms of giving back. Lots of entertainment. I'm bringing out a lot of DJs. I've been fortunate to be working in a circle of a cesspool of wonderful DJs. So it's really going to be family day with a block party kind of edge to it, because it's a lot of music, and come on out to dance and just have a good time and just enjoy the day. And no matter, you don't have to be from Brooklyn. We want to see everyone. Long Island, Staten Island, come on over. Bronx, Connecticut. Yeah, she represents one of those. Harlem, come on down. Come to Brooklyn. Brooklyn is everywhere, and we love people from everywhere. So come on over and just have a great time with us. Sunday, August 4th, Von King Park, from 12 noon to 6. Pull up on my Instagram page, Lenny Green Official. You see all the details.
Definitely make sure you follow Lenny Green Official, follow me, Janelle Simone. And of course, when it comes to Family Day, one thing that was not iterated enough is that it is free.
Free.
free. So come on out, bring the entire family, tell a friend, come on out. Like you said, we've got activities from no matter what age you
Yep.
are. We've got something just for you. It is always a good time. And if you are a business, there are booth space available. Go ahead and hit us up, and we'll make sure that you are there. We'll get you the information that you need so that way you can also connect to the community. Also, when it comes to businesses, and I do love this about you, Lenny, is that you just love having the platform where you can help celebrate these small mom and pop businesses. And so we do that as well here on Love Match Live. So go ahead and hit us up for more info on that. Go ahead.
But no, Miss Janelle Simone, though, she really helps businesses as well. So if you're a small business owner, shopbob.com, shop, S-H-O-P, Bob, B-O-B.com, shopbob.com. If you are an independent business owner and you really want to get the support that you need and the push that you need, Miss Janelle Simone
Yes.
can give you that push and the exposure as well.
We do.
So,
We just finished closing a $40,000 contract for small businesses in New York City.
you know what I'm saying?
With the Department of Education. So we're doing some things. We're doing some things.
She's sounding very modest, even though she knows she's fine, she's sounding very modest, So it goes without saying.
I absolutely love this. Thank you again to everyone
Thank you, guys.
Today, Lenny Green, always a pleasure. And we're going to do this again with more guests, keeping this show alive. So if you want to be a guest on Love Match Live, hit us up at Love Match Live. And of course, we will go ahead and help you find love.
We'll try. Nothing's guaranteed in life. We'll try. But thank you all for joining us. Enjoy your week. Have fun. You had a wonderful, long ass weekend. So enjoy your week. And I'll see you tomorrow night on The Quiet Storm. Shout out to everyone in New York, Milwaukee, Miami. Shout out to everyone in Augusta, all throughout Georgia. Everyone in Louisiana, what's up? South Carolina, what's up? Oklahoma City, Tulsa, what's up? How you feeling? Pine Bluff, Arkansas, how you feeling? Nassau and Freeport, Bahamas, how you feeling? Lock in, lock down, and ladies, allow me to musically massage you all week long.
Love it.
Have a good night. Have a good week.